Good morning, everybody. My internet connection keeps saying it's too weak to go live, and even when I put it just on my phone, it says that it can't pick it up. So I'm going to do it this way, and we are going to read God's Word this morning. I think it's funny, but there are more than one. There's more than one way to skin a cat. I think that's how that phrase goes. Anyway, so I am reading from Psalm 119 this morning, and this actually is the longest chapter in the Bible, and it is probably one of another one of my favorites. Can you tell I like certain ones a whole lot? So anyway, I'm going to start reading, and I'm going to skip around just a little bit. I'm going to read straight out of Psalms, but I'm going to go to Matthew for a minute and then Romans also. So hang with me. And Psalm 118 starts out, says, "Joyful are people of integrity who follow the instructions of the Lord." What are his instructions? "Joyful are those who obey his laws and search for him with all their hearts. They do not compromise with evil, and they walk only in his paths. You have charged us to keep your commandments carefully." It says, "Oh, that my actions would consistently reflect your decrees. Then I will not be ashamed when I compare my life with your commands. As I learn your righteous regulations, I will thank you by living as I should. I will obey your decrees. Please don't give up on me." Now I'm going to stop right here because most people take that as I can't obey all the commandments. I'm not good enough. I mess up every day. And I want to take you to Matthew chapter 22, verses 34 through 40. Sorry, my mouth is not working quite all the way this morning. But anyway, and I want to show you what these decrees are, what we don't... I'm just going to read. All right, 22, verse 34, and this is Jesus talking. Well, it will be Jesus talking in a minute. "But when the Pharisees heard that he had silenced the Sadducees with his reply, they met together to question him again. One of them, an expert in religious law, tried to trap him with this question: 'Teacher, which is the most important commandment in the law of Moses?'" They were supposed to keep all the laws, remember. They had to keep every single solitary one of them in order to be righteous. And the reason for this was God was showing them they could not do it. They could not be righteous in their own works and in their own deeds. So they tried to trick Jesus and say, okay, which one's the most important? Since I can't keep all of them anyway, which one should I keep? And this is what Jesus said, and I love his reply. Jesus said, "You must love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment." And if you remember in the 10 Commandments, loving the Lord is first and foremost. And then he goes on to say something that most of us forget. He said, a second is equally important. And most of you guys know what this is. It says, love your neighbor as yourself. Equally important to loving God is loving your neighbor as yourself. The entire law and all the demands of the prophets are based on these 2 commandments. Is that not cool that he sums it all up into 2 easy things that we can keep? Love God and love people. I can try and handle that. If I love God, I'm not gonna do the things that will harm me. And if I love people, I'm not gonna do things that'll harm other people. Simple as that. And then I'm going to go over to Romans chapter 13, verses 8 to 10. And this says, "Owe nothing to anyone except for your obligation to love one another. If you love your neighbor, you will fulfill the requirements of God's law." Is that not cool? Is that not hard? Oh my goodness, how many of us have people that we're just like, I don't like them. It doesn't matter though. God says love them. And that's how we fulfill the law. For the commandments say, you must not commit adultery, you must not murder, you must not steal, you must not covet. These and other such commandments are summed up in this one commandment: love your neighbor as yourself. Love does no wrong to others, so love fulfills the requirements of God's law. So I wanted to do a little side note there, that loving God and loving others are the commandments that he's talking about. In Psalm 119, we can sum it all up when he says, follow my commandments, keep my statutes. All right, so I'm going to go on in verse 9, and when I say keep his commandments, when I'm reading those parts out of this psalm, remember that's what it's talking about, okay? Jesus himself said those were the two greatest commandments. So, how can a young person stay pure? By obeying your word. I have tried hard to find you. Don't let me wander from your commands. I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. I praise you, O Lord. Teach me your decrees. I have recited aloud all the regulations you have given us, all the laws. I have rejoiced in your laws as much in riches. I will study your commandments and reflect on your ways. I'm going to see how I can please you the most. Not because I am obligated to, not because I'm going to go to hell if I don't, but because I love God. I love him with all my heart, and I want to please him. I want to make him happy. He loves me. He adores me, and he wants to make me happy too. I will delight in your decrees and not forget your word. Be good to your servant, that I may live and obey your word. Open my eyes to see the wonderful truths in your instructions. I am only a foreigner in the land. Don't hide your commands from me. He didn't. Jesus said, love God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. He didn't hide that from us. I am always overwhelmed with a desire for your regulations. You rebuke the arrogant. Those who wander from your commands are cursed. Don't let them scorn and insult me, for I have obeyed your laws. Even princes sit and speak against me, but I will meditate on your decrees. Your laws please me. They give me wise advice. I lie in the dust. Revive me by your word. I told you my plans and you answered. Now teach me your decrees. Help me to understand the meaning of your commandments, and I will meditate on your wonderful deeds. I weep with sorrow. Encourage me by your word. Keep me from lying to myself. Give me the privilege of knowing your instructions. I have chosen to be faithful. I have determined to live by your regulations. I cling to your laws, Lord. Don't let me be put to shame. I will pursue your commands, for you expand my understanding. I will. I have. I cling. These are all things I do. I have chosen to be faithful. Choose to be faithful. Choose to cling to God's laws. And Jesus said the two most important, and are love God, love people, and you will fulfill all the laws. Those two are pretty easy. Mostly. We get angry, and we get angry with people, but it's okay. Love God with everything in you, and love people just as much as you love yourself. I will pursue your commands. I'm going to chase after God. I'm going to love Him as much as I know how, and I'm going to ask Him to teach me how to love Him better. And I'm going to ask Him to teach me how to love people even more, to love them with His love, not my human love. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. And let's go out and follow His commands. Let's choose to be faithful. Let's choose to walk in His ways. Let's love His word. Let's run to it for all our answers. And I hope you guys have a blessed day. And it's a little bit nippy out there, but it's beautiful. God loves you with everything in Him. And I hope that you realize that. Be blessed today. Love you. Bye.